So hopefully you've seen my earlier version of my market simulator that I just put up or demoed or in this video, whatever, but hopefully you've seen it. So after about a week, I've had to update my architecture here for this system. Now you can see I'm really French here, or trying to be architectural. So what we've done here is I've built a little basic simulator, feeding it into Postgres. Where do we go from there? Well, we've got now a big line and two different versions of the same flow. Basically, this side is demo, this side is with a simulator, and this side is for live trading. Okay, the big difference is what's feeding the data and what it's being used for. Okay, so we have a simulator. This is the live. So now we're feeding in real live market data, and I'm looking at active tick and Oanda. Active tick because of stock market data as well as option data. Now I've heard not good things about the data, but at this point I don't really care. I just want some close representation of live data. For only $50 a month, it's okay. You can develop, or it's all done in C++, so you can easily, hopefully, we'll have the Visual C++ support, and I can just write wrappers into my .NET system, which shouldn't be that difficult. I've done that before. Okay, and then the flow pretty well stays the same from here on out. So we have our data feed, and also Oanda as well, which is a perfect combination. So we have active tick for stock and options, and Oanda, and in my previous video, you'll see that Oanda can handle all the major commodities, pretty well futures, as well as obviously Forex. So that will be fed into a database. Now remember, everyone's going to go, well, what about high frequency trading? This is not high frequency trading. High frequency trading starts at probably minimum $500,000 account. Do I look like I have a $500,000 account? Even if I did with this kind of system, I wouldn't start it out with $500,000. It's insane. You need to start pretty well from nothing to be safe, and that's what I'm doing. And Oanda's perfect because you don't need 10K like you do with interactive brokers. You can fund it an Oanda trading account for as little as $10. So I think everyone can afford $10. So we feed it all into Postgres. Eventually, in the live side, I'll have a queue. If it's through 0MQ or some other queue, that I'm keeping out of here. Just due to the fact I don't want to complicate it. Everything's going to be kept on a desktop. And I'm just going to use a little database for now, but I can easily add in a queue from the data into these trading apps. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But going back to the data for live data and broker, because I can work both with the Postgres. There's many options here. I can do it with a queue. I could do it with NoSQL. I could do it with all kinds. Now this part here can also reside actually up to here. If I was to draw out a line, this can reside on a remote server. That's why I chose Postgres. I talked about it in a previous video, where if I'm on the road somewhere or sitting on a beach, I want to be able to run everything remotely, this part, the database, remotely on a server somewhere. So Postgres is a great database because you can use it for a standard web account. When you set up, let's say for web hosting, you get MySQL and Postgres. It's an option. It's open source. And then you can maybe use the Java offering for Oanda, let's say, and keep that on a server as well, just to continuously feed data into it, market data. Now, even if that system got hacked, that's okay, because there's no valuable data. As I said, if you had an imaginary line right here, all of this is going to be sitting locally on a desktop, a laptop, or whatever. So let's get into that. So that's the rationale of using Postgres for now, and keeping all the other mumbo jumbo stuff out of the. Just keep it out. It's very distracting and just slows you down. So let's talk about these charting apps. Now, I was wanting to give you, let me talk about these first. We have Infragistics Financial Dashboard, which is basically one of 2 demo apps you can get from Infragistics, the charting library, which is very powerful. I've shown it numerous times now. You can get, with this version, you can also get an iPad version if you want. So that is possible. This is the value. This is what they call Infragistics Equity Trader demo, and that contains all the charting. So up until now, I've got the simulator done, I've got the Postgres done with the little tick database, and then this guy, the charting package, which contains everything, will read that data from the database. Just tick data, that's it. Okay. So this is pretty well the nerve center of everything. Okay. So again, this is the demo mode or simulation, testing environment, same setup, but we've already talked about a good chunk of the live trading side. But here, these apps are the same, but here you'll see, and I can put the MATLAB strategies here as well, and here, they're identical really. And then have those MATLAB strategies sit in this equity trader application, and then using that logic as the data comes in and how you present it in chart-wise will then generate orders from that. So all of that logic, all of that charting, all of that fun stuff is now in a monolithic application. Now, I'll show you both of these apps right now in this demo for those that may not have seen either of these. These are pretty mind-blowing. I'll show you the differences between the two. These are all, this is .NET, this is .NET. When I'm saying .NET, it's done in C#. I try to honestly make the attempt in Java, R, no offense, but I get stuff done faster in C#. Don't ask me why, it's just how I seem to get stuff done. Okay, so we've talked about these 2 apps. We've talked about orders will be blasted out, and I'll show you that capability. But the MATLAB strategies is why I use MATLAB. This is very powerful. The different ways I can deploy MATLAB. I can deploy MATLAB via Excel. I can have it talk to a MATLAB script and then embed a MCR, compile runtime, into this .NET application. So I can have multiple of these DLLs sitting in this application. The problem is, this Infragistics does not contain this little, what I call strategy agent component, and that's what's going to handle all the strategies from within this application. So I have to kind of build that. But there is a way I can do that. Maybe this might turn into a very long video, but that's okay. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this. I just thought of this in the last week. And then with the MATLAB strategies, as I said, there's numerous ways to go about it. So again, I mentioned that we can use Builder Any that will basically, from MATLAB, be able to generate a series of, basically a package in .NET, basically a DLL that can be embedded in this kind of system, and then this system will be able to read that DLL, which is really a packaged up runtime version of MATLAB. Again, speed is not critical. I do not see myself going beyond on the minute, and believe me, on the minute may be fast enough. This thing's going to be bloated. So I'm looking at some pretty, not heavy duty hardware, but it's going to push the boundaries of any system. Who knows what that'll be? That's yet to be determined as I test it. I'll know in a couple of weeks or months. Who knows how long it'll take me. So as I said, there's MATLAB strategies, and then with that in mind, I have the Builder Any as an option to deploy MATLAB scripts. The other 2 that I can use is one called MATLAB Production Server. So I can embed a compile runtime into the system, and then just have the logic call out to a MATLAB production server, like kind of like an HTTP server or a web server like Apache or Tomcat, and then that's where the MATLAB scripts reside, and then just pass back data to the system. That's an option as well. The other option, which is pretty well my ideal as I build more sophisticated, more math-intensive algorithms and strategies is using a workflow that I've come up with, being able to basically, in a nutshell, be able to use something like a MATLAB Simulink, build a visual model, and then be able to generate C++ or C code, turn that into a DLL, and then again embed that into the same system. So I have 3 different ways to deploy MATLAB strategies into this application. Very powerful. I've done this years ago, works great. I would again not recommend for high frequency trading. That's kind of boneheaded because of all the latency of all the extra layered API stuff going on, and it's not in a limited or light. It's not lightweight. So that is definitely not an option if you are planning to go HFT. But again, if you are planning to go HFT, again, the MATLAB option's great because you can get C++ from that, or C or whatever. But that's, again, down the line. So that's the logic, and then of course those strategies will bang out orders into the market using Oanda and whatever other broker I need that will support .NET. So that's pretty well the whole vision of how the system will play out. As I said, I'll probably throw on maybe queues, and who knows, maybe change the database or add on a NoSQL option for faster access. My previous video, you'll see how fast the data can build up, over 30 assets, and we haven't even added the Forex as well, and that's another 50% of the data that you're watching. So the data can get pretty heavy and fill up fast, especially if you're using tick level. I've seen it, and it can get pretty ugly pretty fast. So that's basically the 35,000 foot view of the system. Very basic, very basic. Okay, so let me show you these applications, because I've got almost 12 minutes of blabbing here. So let's do some visual stuff. Now what I'm going to show you first is the, let me just open it up here. Using Visual Studio. What I'm going to show you here is the first application. This is Infragistics Financial Dashboard. Okay, I'm going to run that for you and just show you the advantages with that. And just waiting for Visual Studio here to get set up. And then from there, on the demo side, I don't. It's a nice to have, but I have to build that again. That piece that can feed in from input into the system or the charting app from Postgres. These 2 apps are very different. One's using services, and the other one I still can't quite understand it, but it looks pretty straightforward when you debug it. So this is very optional. The only reason I may keep this around is just for highlighting different market situations or whatever. It's a pretty good app, and there is some distinctions between the 2, even on the charting level. And again, I really don't need this app at all. I'm just having it again for just putting up reports and charts for visitors to the site or to my members or whatever. But here's Visual Studio with the first, what we call the financial dashboard. You can see there's a WPF app, Windows Presentation Foundation. It's pretty slick, so hopefully I won't get any exceptions here. Just doing this on the fly. Hey, we're doing okay. I'm seeing something. It's built. Alright, so here's the chart. This is the financial stock dashboard. So what I'm referring to is this guy right here, this one. Okay, not the trading equity or the equity trader. As usual, we get that's okay. Anyways, I knew there'd be some exceptions here. Application error. Okay, so you can see. I hope this doesn't turn into an unuseless state. I don't like exceptions, but you can see. This is driving me nuts. What mode am I in? Release. I don't think I have these problems in debug mode. Let me just switch to debug. Now this is out of box from Infragistics, just so people know. There's been no modifications to it from my end. So we're just starting it up again. Hopefully this will be a cleaner run. Let's hope. There we go. It's loading up. Alright, so again, back to, but we're running in debug mode this time. So let me just show you the distinctions that I've seen between the two. No. Anyways, let me just show you. So you can basically stack the charts. That's the big feature. That's the nice feature. You can add in all your different technicals down here. You get different charting options. Anyways, you know what? I'm not going to go too much into it, but it does have a heat map. Yeah. You really need to. Okay, thank you. I have no idea why this is happening. Let me just give you another view here. I just want to show you the heat map, which is pretty powerful, but for presentation it's great. Voila, hopefully we won't get any exceptions here. Here we go. Oh, no, forget it. Okay, so that is that application with lots of bugs still to go through. Alright, so let me show you the application, the really meat and potatoes of it all. This is called the Equity Trading Showcase demo. This is a very powerful app. Maybe you've seen some of my videos already from this. Let me just get my Visual Studio up and running. This is a beast of an application, but I'll walk you through it. So again, this is a nerve center. What I'm about to show you. So the first app I just showed you is this. This one I'm about to show you is Infragistics Equity Trading app. This is pretty powerful. Yeah. Okay. So let me start it up and pray that we don't have the same problem. But again, as I said, this is an expendable app. This is a nerve center that I'm showing you right now, and they're basically identical with this little strategy component in it. There we go. So let me just okay, here we go. Okay, so hopefully you've seen this before, this little app. This app's awesome. Okay, so what we have here is we have a real-time stock, so that would be coming in from the database. So that's what I'm going to be building out next. And you'll be able to get the bid and ask, and you'll be able to see all the little activity going on, and the change, and all that fun stuff. And obviously, the chart, there we go. The chart gets updated with it. So, as you can imagine, I can add in whatever I want that the system is watching. You can get a tab view and you get all these different, views and charts and styles, and zoom in and out and all that fun stuff. That's pretty good. You get different snapshots, 1 month. I could probably break it down to 1 day. 1 year, blah blah blah. And of course we got the heat map, which I want to show you. This is all the tech sectors, what's doing well. Now this is not quite live data, this is all simulated data that's within the application. So don't think this is from being fed in from the Yahoo Finance, because it's not. The other app does, but this one's not. So as I said, we have all our assets that we're watching. We can maintain a lot, obviously. And then we got our charting. Now here's the thing: this is our trading history. the cool thing is we can filter all this fun stuff. I want all my buys for, let's say, Coke. You know, it's a nice little app, and as I said, this will be the nerve center of my system. When I saw this, I went kind of ballistic. And the other cool thing is, at some point, I can have it, you know, basically monitor news, maybe alerts from the system or from some analytics system or maybe some risk management or something. But I have that capability, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there's news and messages as well. So maybe I can have the system generate messages, or who knows. But it's limitless with what I'm planning to do. Now, hopefully you can see the power of this, and this is, again, the nerve center of my system. The other app I don't really need a lot, but again, I'm just using it for presentation. Hopefully you can see where things are going. So we've got this built, the database is kind of there. These two apps are ready together, kind of together. The plumbing's there, everything's there, and the big piece that I still need to develop is this strategy agent to run multiple strategies and then bang out orders. So let me I just forgot to show you something here. I'm not sure if it was in here. And here you go. So if you come in a portfolio, you can execute transactions or trades. This is manual. You know, just sell, cancel. I didn't even know this until a day ago, and you know, that's a pretty cool feature. I've never seen this before on a tick level. But you can obviously automate that, and then obviously maybe in the portfolio you want like a little panic button, close it manually, this one or that one, and maybe another panic button somewhere up here to close the whole system in case there's a meltdown in the markets or something like that. So back to my PDF here. So basically, this piece does not exist. To do that, to build out the strategies and the trading logic, so I have to build that and conform to whatever's in this application. Now, there's something else I want you to be aware of. If you haven't seen this and you're looking for open source, this is a pretty cool app here. QT Shell. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, there's this product, I mentioned this before, it's called Quant Trading. Just go to Codeplex, or go to my blog and look for Quant Trading, and you'll see where to get this. But I'm showing you this because this is very similar to TradeLink. If you've seen me play around with TradeLink a few years ago, actually I can kill this guy. Okay, so this is now the Quant Trading. You can see some similarities, not as sexy, but this is the piece I'm talking about with the strategies. This little guy right here, where all the strategies reside. Now again, no, I better not mention that. I'll probably get confused. Probably already confused as it is. This is where all the strategies reside. So I have to build this into that Infragistics trading equity program that I just showed you. And then you can have 5 strategies or whatever. And it's basically the trading logic of the strategy as the data comes in, what to do. Does it execute under what conditions? Execute trades, that is. So this is going to be built out, kind of modeling after this functionality. So I got to build this out on top of where am I here? Okay, and then there's another piece that I may need to build out for testing, which is similar to TradeLink. And hopefully you've seen the video. I put up a video on this. Well, this is actually working. So you can develop your strategy. It's going to be like this, where you have maybe it's under here. Yeah. So here you have a DLL with strategies, and you have a little framework that you work with. And again, I'm taking all this code and quote unquote borrowing it. and implementing it into the other app that I showed you, the same methodology, and you know, be able to build out strategies and blah blah blah, test them, whatever. But I'll be able to do that from within that lab. And once I'm ready, I just deploy it and implement it into this type of system, but not in this actual one, but in the other one, the Infragistics one. As I said, looking at it, you could probably run as many apps as you, strategies you want. We should say that, but quite a few, and see how it goes. And the other piece that obviously needs to be built is the broker level. And right now, I'm just focusing on Awanda because it's easy to work with, and hopefully, I'll play out quite nice. Okay, so that's pretty well it, and this is probably, I'm hoping, I never say never, but hoping this is pretty as close as I'm going to get as I move out now to build out the capability of both apps to read the data from the Postgres I showed you earlier. This data right here from the ticks. I just put out a previous video on that, so I'm not going to spew on about that because I'm already at half now. So hopefully you kind of get the better picture of what I'm at, and all this code and stuff that I posted, the database and the code for the simulator has been posted in my membership area, and that's that. And any future code will be put into my membership area for the elite dudes. Other than that, talk to you later.